Tonight we'll just have a short story. And some of you go, I can't believe you're talking about this. Let's talk about spiders. Yep, those things with the crawly things. And it's like, okay, spiders. Anyway, this is a Tibetan story. What happened was this student, he's meditating. So as he meditated, he would see a spider come down in front of him. Really, really close. Okay? And every day he meditated, the same time, the spider will come down, and every day that spider got bigger and bigger. So every single day, imagine, first day, it'll be a spider. Then next day, get bigger. At some point, it became a huge spider. And so he decided, I better tell the teacher, ask the teacher for help. So he went over to the teacher. He said to the teacher, whatever he calls the teacher, right? I see this spider in my meditation. Next time I'm going to bring a knife next to me when I meditate. So when this spider comes up, I'm just going to kill it. The teacher said, no, don't do that. Instead, bring a piece of chalk. Chalk to draw in or whatever. So here's what you do. Tomorrow, when you meditate, if you were to see that spider again, and remember it's big now, right? Take your chalk and put an X on the spider. Okay? The student being receptive and realizing the teacher is wise, said, okay, I'll follow your instruction. So the next day, sure enough, in deep meditation, this huge spider came down, and he remembered, I have my chalk. So he drew an X on the spider. And, same thing. The spider didn't hurt him or anything like that. He went about his business, did his meditation. And he went to the teacher after the meditation, said, Teacher, I put an X on the spider. The teacher said, very good. Lift up your shirt. Huh? So he lifted up his shirt. There was an X on his belly. On the student. Now, some of you going, that's weird. Okay, let's talk about it. There's many ways to understand this story, okay? And some of you just want to ask you to brace yourself because some of you might be slightly stirred up. Listen carefully. It's something like this. When you do your meditation and spiritual practice, for most of us, actually not most, to all of us, it's a process of displacement. The more spiritual the energy that comes in, the more emotional, mental crap comes out of our system. You don't like it? Good luck. You're going to suffer. Okay? It is what it is. That's why you notice some of us, after intense meditation, you're supposed to be so loving, so blissful, and you go to work or at home, somebody says something you don't like, you snap at them. Right? Or like one of our students many years ago, she doesn't drink. After one of the super intense meditations with Grandmaster Swak Hok Sui, the following day she called me because I need help. I said, well, what do you need help for? After we came back from the mountain meditating with Master Cho, I went to the market and bought lots of liquor. She doesn't drink. But I don't know, it just came this strong urge to drink. I said, okay. It's basically what? Old tendencies, old seeds. These are called ancient seeds in Arhatic Yoga. These are seeds inside your aura and your chakras, either from this lifetime or previous one, that is in there. And every time you do spiritual practice, if the chakra is like this, when more energy comes in, the energy center becomes bigger. So whatever that seed is suddenly has more energy, starts growing. Haven't any of you noticed? You're a very loving, very honest person, good-natured, good person. And sometimes after intense meditation, you feel great, very blissful. Sometimes you find yourself with all these ugly thoughts. Like, I can't believe that, Who would have thought of these things? Like, almost some people have like murderous, homicidal thoughts. Some of you have thoughts that are like, yeah, that person, if he only died, I will have his position. It's like, I can't believe I said that. You had that experience before? It's like, no way. I could never think that way. We know that you would not actually be doing it. But the seed is there. Here's another example. And we talk about this in the Prosperity Zen and also in Kriyas Shakti Prosperity course. You don't have any poverty consciousness, as far as you know. You're always very positive, look at the good things in life, right? And then you take on a project like, okay, this business deal is going to make me, quadrillion dollars. And you're excited. Oh, this is my passion. You move full speed, so on, right? Everything's great. And then when it reaches a certain level of success, and sure enough, things are taking off. Okay, I think you know where I'm going with this. Suddenly, you start having self-doubt. Out of nowhere, you go, oh, what's going to happen now? When this happens, will I have time to meditate? Oh, am I still a good person if I do this? Whatever. Just stupid stuff that come out. Okay? All of us have been there. But see, here's the difference. If you understand what it is, you can remove it and don't let it control you. If you don't, that's what's called self-sabotage. Relationships. Uh-oh. You sure you want me to touch this one? Hi, honey, I love you with all my life, my soul, my this, my that, whatever. You can make up whatever romantic stuff you want to say. And you truly mean it. And the relationship gets to a certain point where there's so much love, so much intimacy, and then you find yourself, well, you don't really find yourself, you start noticing fear. What if I lose this person? Or, what if I screw this one up? Or, maybe he is getting too close, or she's getting too loving, or whatever. Part of you going, what in the world is this crap? I love this person with all my life, with all my chakras, right? Where's this coming from? Guess what happens? Again, if you don't know what's going on, then you think, oh, maybe I'm just crazy person, bad childhood, blah, blah, blah. You don't realize these are seeds that are inside the chakras. And as the heart chakra grows and whatever other chakras grow, whatever those seed of doubt, seed of stuff from the past, what happens? It comes to the surface. Okay, we're not done yet. So that story of that student meditating and seeing that spider become bigger is not because there's a real spider. It's simply showing that as he continued to do his meditation, old fears and tendencies and seeds are being fertilized, which make them grow. Now, unless you have a teacher who knows it, what happens? Oh yeah, okay, I know you're not gonna like this. Oh yeah, somebody's attacking me because, as I experience more light, the darkness is searching me out. Do you realize how dumb that is? You keep wanting, I believe in the law of attraction. The more I love, I attract love to me. Okay, have you ever heard anyone say, the law of attraction, the more spiritual I am, the more darkness wants to come to me? Well, if that's the case, then all your affirmations just went down the toilet, right? It's just like saying, if I make my prosperous affirmations, then more poverty come to me. Hello, those are opposite, right? I know some of you don't want to hear this because some of you you're set in your ways. As I always say, your mind's made up. I don't want to change it with facts. Okay, so listen carefully, the ones who want to listen. It's not because you're being psychically attacked. That's always the cop-out, the excuse, the blame tendency that most of us have. Oh yeah, I'm reaching such a high level of spiritual development that my aura and chakras are so bright that people are jealous, so they attack me. Get over yourself. That's not what it is. It's our old tendencies coming to the surface. Now, why is it happening? Listen carefully. Again, if you want to turn me off now, do it now. And just go keep suffering for a few more lifetimes. Listen carefully. It's not because it's punishing you. What it is in order for us, all of us, for us to evolve, your frequency goes up. Whatever is of lower frequency has to be released or shed. Okay? So these old fears, anger, resentment, negative tendencies, these weaknesses will have to be partially, listen carefully, partially brought to the surface so that we have an awareness of it. Oh, okay. Those hurtful thoughts, hurtful tendencies, maybe in the past, yeah, that's true. 20 years ago when somebody hurt my feelings, I want to punch his head off. Yeah, I did say that. Okay, it must be that seed. It's a way for us to realize there are certain things we have not yet learned. You reading so far? That's why you notice after you have a knowing, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, that poverty consciousness thing, that's because how many years ago I cheated someone of X amount of money, and then, and that's because of my fear and my poverty. Yeah, okay, I've learned the lesson. You notice at that point, when you come to that realization, part of you goes, okay, I've learned it. You know why? Because at that point, that thing that got magnified, you did not ignore it, you did not suppress it, you realize, that's a lesson to be learned. Once that lesson is learned, the soul can now cast it away. Then you progress. Now, I wish everybody does that, but okay, don't get offended. I'll just tell it like it is. A lot of people do it. What do they do? Yeah, somebody's attacking me. Somebody's this. So immediately they go into the blame game. So guess what happens? That tendency, that weakness that we have that's coming to the surface for us to learn from so we can get rid of it, so we can spiritually evolve, is now stuffed back in because we're now blaming someone else instead of saying, I own this. I own this. There's something that I did in the past. I might not actually know it, but I'm owning this one. It's my screw up. I take responsibility. The lesson to be learned is, be generous, don't steal, be kind, whatever it is. Once you do that, guess what? You start noticing that starts disappearing or starts diminishing. But the minute you stuff it in there, no, it's not me, it's because, come to think of it, yesterday I was talking to this guy, he was really jealous. It must be him attacking me, that's why I have these bad dreams. Then, buddy, you're screwed. I'm telling you. You're screwed. Because that thing you stuffed in, you just put more crap on top of it. Next time it comes up, it's whatever that old stuff magnified, but all the crap you put on top. You don't like it? Sayonara. Go learn from somebody else. The reason I know this is because, number one, my teacher told us this ahead of time. And number two, I was so thick-headed, I didn't listen. I did the blame game thing. Oh, yeah, it's this and that, whatever. And when it hit me so hard, I had no choice but to say, I think my teacher is right. And come to think of it, it's my own screw-up that come to the surface. Since then, I go, okay, this comes up. Just a lesson to learn. The natural tendency for us to say, it's somebody else. No. I'm owning this one. I made a mistake. Okay, how can I make it better? You start noticing if that becomes your natural tendency, even when you do meditation, things come up, that's your standard operating procedure, it goes away. Don't believe me? Learn it your hard way. There's one more part. Again, I hope you're learning something because these things are usually not written in books. And I remember my teacher, when he was talking about these things, he always say, these are not written in books. Be receptive. I said, all of us go, okay, we're receptive. So listen carefully. Here's another one. In Arhatic Yoga, this is called ESP syndrome. Okay, I want to address this because I've talked to some students and, you talk to them, hey, how come you're having financial issues? They say, well, because the planets are not aligned. Then when I try to understand it, well, this guy just sits at home, won't look for a job, won't do anything, and he's blaming the planets for it. ESP syndrome. In other words, ESP is extrasensory, it's an inner world type of deal. And the reason this didn't happen is because the planets are not aligned. Or, okay, I know some of you are not going to like this, but I'll tell it like it is. So listen if you want to. Your choice. How many of you ever heard, it didn't work because of Mercury retrograde? Mercury retrograde. Yeah, you heard that before? Most of you have. Oh, yeah, because in Mercury retrograde, everything fails. Are you sure about that? Are you sure statistically that everything during Mercury retrograde will not work? You say that with such certainty. How many cases, how many projects have you investigated? Out of 100 people that on that day or that amount of time when Mercury is in retrograde, did all their conversations, all their projects went bad? No, a few of them, it's there. Exactly the point. Now, would you like to know what Mercury retrograde means? you ask an astrophysicist, the reason it's called Mercury retrograde, this is the sun. Here, you're sitting here on Earth. As you're looking at the sun, Mercury is going behind the sun, which at some point you'll go around it again. That's that. So if you let that run your life, well, then it runs your life. If you don't, you don't. As simple as that. You understand what I'm talking about? So one of the lessons from that story with a student is keep a sharp mind. It's not a real spider. That spider is simply an image or symbol of internal weaknesses or fears that the student has that came out during meditation. And his teacher knew that. And so when he had to put a chalk mark, an X mark on the spider, it ended up being on his belly because it was created out of his mind. It's a thought form. So when he put the X on, it ended up putting an X on his belly. The teacher's telling him, look, it's not real. You understand? Now he said, well, you're discounting that none of this stuff is real, what I see in the world. I never said that. The key, and we talked about this in the previous lessons, the key is to keep your mind sharp, to understand, okay, what is this? Is it because there's a lesson I need to learn? Number 2, is it a certain fears that coming up to the surface? Or number 3, is it just part of a puzzle? A puzzle, puzzle like different parts that there's a bigger lesson that I need to learn? Or is there something coming from the inner world, a warning about something that might come from the future? The key is to ask, not to jump conclusions. And guess what does it require? Repeat after me. The development of intuition has to be balanced with the development of the intellect. You heard me say that so many times. Keep your mental faculty sharp. Just because it's in the energy world does not always mean it will happen in the material world. It takes a sharp mind to ascertain, is this real? Is not real? Is it a figment of my imagination, or am I catching somebody else's thought form? Yeah, that's what you call mass hysteria, right? You have someone, anyway, I'm not going to get into it because you guys have very strong opinions and I don't want to hear it. Political opinions. But you're going to hear people say stuff about vaccination, about mask, about wearing underwear. I don't care what the heck it is. These are thought forms. And some people believe it so much. The question is, did they study it? It's just like, here's another one. Next weekend, I'm teaching the pranic feng shui class. You're not going to go crazy over this one. Why do you meditate? And some of you have attended, even the introduction, I've talked about this. Why do most people meditating face east? Well, because the sun rises on the east. Are you sure about that? Yeah, as sure as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, blah, 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 whatever. If you talk to an astrophysicist and you say with such certainty, you look like an ignoramus. You know why? The only place in the entire world the sun sets directly rises directly east and rises exactly west is on the equator. You realize that? If this is the Earth, if you're on the North Pole or the South Pole, the sun doesn't rise, doesn't sunrise doesn't set. It just goes around. If this, the sun like this. Because as you go around the sun, that's what happens. So as surely as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, you have no clue what the heck you're talking about. So when people tell me, the reason I meditate facing east because the sun rises in the east. Most people say it. That's not the reason. But you say it enough times, the thought form is big enough, people believe it. You know what it is? Because from every direction, there's a certain energetic frequency. It just so happened the energy coming from the east is violet. So the color violet, that frequency activates your crown. So if all of us want to have a bigger crown chakra, which will facilitate the meditation, you face east. Nothing to do with the sun. Hello, if the reason you're facing east because the sun rises in the east, then you should meditate at night. Isn't it? I think it's too hard for you guys to handle this, huh? I think you're looking for no. You have to question everything. Don't believe everything blindly. Because if you don't question everything, how do you know one day you're meditating and then you saw that you dove into this ocean of light? Right? So the next morning, you're on a bridge, you saw water. My dream tells me I have to dive into that ocean. You're 100 feet above. Okay, you die. You get my point? Sharpen your mind. Always question, what is it? Is this a dream that's telling me what I need to get better at? Is this a dream to show me what my weaknesses are? Is this a warning from the future? Is it this? Is it that? And question. And I shared the last thing with you, and then we'll do the meditation. Oftentimes, it's a piece to a puzzle. It's a piece of a puzzle. Something that's supposed to happen in the future, but you only saw part of it. The next time you meditate, a few months later, a few weeks later, the next piece, at some point, you see the big picture. I always share that story with one of our students from St. Louis. Same thing. She came up to me one day and says, "Hey, I want to tell you my dream." "No, tell me, interpret it." I go, "What is it?" "Yeah, I saw that all of us, you, me, 20 of us were in Massachusetts, we're in the mountain, we're holding hands and meditating." I go, wait. That might be a real dream because I don't hold hands. And she goes, "Yeah, but I saw." Okay. What else?" "That's all I saw." Okay. And she goes, What is it? I go, "I have no clue. It's your dream. Write it down." Okay. Anyway, without boring with details, subsequent dreams, she saw the same thing happening, but this time it's in almost like a room or like a building, small building, and the doors were not like this. It was like that. Some of you go to India, you go to Middle East, the doors, they're not like door frames, not like that. It's like this. And she said, "Oh, I saw this stuff. It looked like this," and the doors. I go, "Okay." Same thing. She asked, "What does it mean?" I go, "No, it's your dream." She was getting frustrated. "Come on, tell me." Go, "I have no clue." Journal it. Make a long story short, some of you heard this story before. So she had more details, and she didn't bother asking me. She knows my answer would be, She just kept writing it down. Then one day, we got a phone call from Grandmaster Twakok Sui from the Philippines. "Okay, we're going to have the Wesak Festival meditation, the most powerful full moon of the year. We're going to have it at certain place." And so we all flew to New York area. I think it was New York or New Jersey. I forgot already. And then we rode this car. We went up the mountain. Went up to this building, chapel, whatever it is. And when we got there, she goes, "That's what I saw." "Oh, good." She saw the doorways like that. And then it was just a small group. We're in a room. So the message just said, "Okay, sit in a circle. Okay, hold hands." I go, "Ah." That's what the dream was. And then the other stuff that she said came true. See what I mean? So for a lot of you who see stuff, before you jump to conclusions, good or bad, write it down. Either in your visions or dreams, write it down. You know why? As we said before, your antenna is up. Right? It's catching the data. Your consciousness, your mental faculty, filters it, arranges it, allows it to make sense. But if your mind refuses to, then all you have is a bunch of visions you have no clue what to do with. And usually for most people, guess what sets in? Fear. Usually what happens? Because they can't understand it, They saw stuff that's so ugly. They say this, they say that. They go crazy. And then that happens for years. But if they have a good teacher who will simply tell them, look, don't panic. Write it down. Do your meditation. Sharpen your mind. Study spiritual teaching so you might be able to understand that the physical world and the energy world interpenetrate. Right now, you are a three-dimensional being. Right? You hear me say it. Length, height, length, width, depth. 3 dimensions. But the 4th dimension is time. So you're literally a 3-dimensional being moving through time. You put it together, that's what Einstein calls space-time. However, when you're doing intense meditation and spiritual practice, you're going to the 5th, 6th, or whatever other dimensions people like to claim they know all of it. It just lets you, it's beyond the 4. So you're expecting a brain that is used to 3-dimensional analysis to understand what's happening dimensions above it. It's just like if you have a piece of paper, right, with an ant crawling front and back. This is always what physicists say. You have an ant going back and forth. That's just 2 dimensions, right? This way, that way, 2 dimensions. If a ball comes to it, it doesn't know what to do with it. So for them, you just imagine the ant would look at it. If a sphere comes through, first thing they're going to see is a point. And next thing the ant's going to see is a line. Next thing the ant's going to see is a circle. That's it. Because you have 2-dimensional being that only goes this way, and then you have a 3-dimensional thing going like this. So all you see is the cross-section. You realize that? So that means we as 3-dimensional beings, length, height, width, we always look at something, okay, how high, how far, so on and so on. And then suddenly in your deep spiritual practice, you start seeing stuff beyond the 3 dimensions, 3 or 4 dimensions. It freaks you out. Yeah, I saw this being glowing with light, energy radiating every direction, but somehow when I look at this being, I see the planets. You go, ah! Get the point? So the key is to do 2 things. 1, sharpen your mind to understand. Number 2, as you do your meditation and spiritual practice, you're also elevating your consciousness. It's just like you're moving your awareness, not just the 3-dimensional world, you're going higher and higher, so you can now understand what it's like to be in several places simultaneously, which is impossible for something material. To finish it off, I know this is a long lecture, I apologize. If I take this pieces of whatever, right now you look at it as height, depth, width. However, if your consciousness permeates through it, that means this piece of something has length, height, width, outside, inside, and in between each particle also has length, width, and so on and so on. So your consciousness penetrate through it. It's just like a sponge thrown into a bucket of water. The water is inside and outside the sponge simultaneously. So the higher dimensions involve the lower dimensions plus inside, outside, and through it, and you add the dimension of time. As you go higher, that dimension of time is a lower frequency, so you're now above it. That's why when you're in deep meditation, it almost feels like what happened in the past, the present, and what happens in the future is happening now. That's it. So now you really know what it means when they say the power of now. As what's his name? Eckhart Tolle. You cannot experience the real power now without spirituality. Impossible. So let's meditate. Dear Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, we humbly ask for your blessings. Personally to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahal Guju Meling, we thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, thank you for your wisdom, help, blessings, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith. So be it. All right. apologize that lecture went longer than I thought, just of a spider thingy, but I hope you learned something. All right, here's the thing. So much is going on in the world. You have COVID. Some people still think it's not real. Well, go visit the hospitals. I have quite a number of doctors who are our students and friends, and they're more than exhausted. Okay? So, anyway, a lot of people are suffering. And you also have the fires that are happening in Northern California and other places like Canada. And, of course, you have Afghanistan, which is massive instability. You have Venezuela and what else? Many places. Haiti, Lebanon. So what we'll do now is we'll chant Om Mani Padme Hum, the universal mantra of mercy and compassion. Okay? So after the invocation, we'll affirm oneness. We'll raise our hands like this, and we'll chant Om Mani Padme Hum. Let's see how much energy you can handle. But the idea is, as you chant it, you and I become the pipeline and the channel for these blessings to flow through. Okay? Again, I cannot possibly name every place that needs blessing, and I don't want to take on the responsibility. Anyway, I'm not God. But at least we want to do our share to bring more divine energy to that area, more blessings. Okay? So let's do this. Tap your crown just to help you put your attention there. I am that. I'm not the body, I'm not the emotion, not the thoughts. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that. The soul, the spiritual self. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spirit, the divine spark in me. I am a child of God. I am one with God. I am one with all. And so it is. Okay? Raise your hands in blessing. So visualize the entire earth first. And as we keep chanting, you're welcome to focus on areas that need healing, need blessing. There's so many of them. I'll let you decide. It's just like we aim Niagara Falls at you, and you decide where you're going to channel part of that hose. Okay. Okay, close your eyes. Stop typing. You're not going to do any blessing by typing. We are one. We are one with God. We are one with all. There's only oneness. We are one. And in this oneness, we humbly ask to be utilized as channels and pipelines for divine mercy and compassion to fill the entire earth and wherever it's needed. So be it. Thank you for this sacred opportunity to be of service in full faith. And so it is. Okay, you guys ready? You don't have to visualize anything if you don't want to. Just the idea is there's visualizing the earth in front of you. We raise our hands, we chant Om Mani Padme Hum, and just let the energy keep flowing, okay? All right. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. May every person, every being be blessed with divine mercy, divine compassion, with healing. May all those who are in pain be healed. May every person, every being be blessed. May it wash away their sorrow, pain, and suffering. So be it. Direct it to the part of the world that needs blessing. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now be still. Just keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just be still. Let the energy flow through us. Now, we will chant silently. Just to guide you, I'll chant it verbally, but you chant silently. Okay? There are different reasons. When you chant verbally, it's a certain effect. You're affecting certain worlds. When you chant silently, you're affecting different worlds or frequencies or dimensions. Anyway, something like that. And I'm going to go to it right now. Let's just do the work, shall we? So keep your tongue on your palate. As I chant, silently follow. And same thing, let the energy flow through. Om Mani Padme Hum. Just tune into the energy and let it flow through you. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Just flood the hospitals with divine healing energy. The people who are suffering anywhere in the world, fill them with divine love, divine light, and divine protection. Divine, compassionate healing energy. So be it. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Be still. May your family be blessed. May your parents, your family be blessed. Your children, your spouse be blessed. May all your relatives be blessed. May your city, your country, may every country, every person, every being be divinely blessed. So be it. Just let it flow through us. Be still. Put your hands down. Just be still. Just imagine a point of light, a miniature sun, just floating above your head. Just look at it and put your entire awareness and attention into the beautiful, brilliant light. And listen. still. Be aware of that light, which is your true nature. Allow your entire consciousness and awareness to drift deeper and deeper into that brilliant light. Your entire awareness and consciousness is merging deeper and deeper with that light. You are that light. Just silently affirm, I am light. I am that. That am I. Be still. Just let go and just let things happen. Just let things be. Be still and let go. Now. Go deeper into that ocean of light. Gently, very, very slowly, come back to your physical body. Move your fingers, move your toes. Gently and slowly slide back to your physical body now. Raise your hands in blessing. Let's just release excess energy that our bodies cannot absorb. Let's use it to further bless our loved ones. So visualize your family or people you love. Fill them with golden light. May they be blessed with good health, with happiness, with abundance and prosperity, and spiritual oneness. So be it. Bless your job, your career, your finances with success, with progress, and with prosperity. Just fill it with golden light. So be it. If you have friends and loved ones who are in need, fill them with golden light. May God's blessings be with them. So be it. So be it. Now be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Project golden light going down deep into the earth. and verbally repeat after me. Let our beloved Mother Earth, all her children, all of creation be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let the entire earth be blessed, be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to all. So be it, and so it is. We thank you. Okay, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. And thank whoever you like. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Mening, thank you. Thank you all for the blessings and especially the opportunity to be of service in full faith. And so it is. All right. Yikes. It's a longer session than I expected. That was, 50-some minutes. All right. I hope you learned something. And again, I know it was a little too direct when we talked about it. It's just I see so many people suffering unnecessarily because they cannot distinguish the tangible material world and the higher worlds. And the interesting part is, just to kind of put this together, we are multidimensional beings, not just three dimensions. Think about it. You have height, width, length, then there's time added to it. Then you have the emotions. That's another frequency, another dimension. You have the mental world, it's another dimension, and so on and so on. So you and I are actually functioning in all of these simultaneously. So without doing your spiritual practice and meditation, what happens? We get trapped in the material world. And so the spiders that you see, the stuff you don't like to see that come up, instead of screaming and yelling and trying to cut it with a knife, which not going to happen, I recognize for what it is. It's either weaknesses we need to improve on, certain fears that's coming to the surface. You're catching somebody's thoughts floating around, whatever it is, but realize that these are simply energies. You can get rid of them, replace them, and so on and so on. Okay? Anyway, I hope you learned, and just do my job. So we will see you Friday. Friday is healing day. You guys remember that? Wow, that went by fast. So Friday, we have emotional healing and prosperity healing. I have to look at the schedule, which one's which. I think it's prosperity healing for the morning and emotional healing for the night. I don't know. Well, either way, just show up. Namaste, everyone. You all take care. We wish you much happiness and joy. And